Welcome to another episode of The Negative Nomad, and for this episode we'll be going to Monmouth Plantation in Natchez, Mississippi. Now, Monmouth was originally built by John Hankinson in the year of 1818. He only owned it for a few years when he sold it to the most prominent owners, John Quitman, in 1826. And then, as you might suspect, the plantation changed from hand to hand for a variety of reasons. It wasn't until 1978 when Ronald and Laney Riches purchased the house and restored it to its current state. We're going to start our tour here on the first floor at the Quitman Lounge. As you can tell, there was no one in sight, and I'm told this is because we visited during the slow time of year. I'd like to point out that this bar here in the corner is original to the house. Next to the lounge is Restaurant 1818, which is also a play on the original date in which this home was built. The home currently operates as a bed and breakfast, and the restaurant is open to anyone who wants to visit, and they do offer tours as well. One thing I'd like to point out is the silver is original to the house. The china pattern is a reproduction, which they put on display for safety reasons. As you can tell, this area is primarily used as a dining room. And now it's off to the second floor. If you decide to visit Monmouth, the only area you're going to see on this floor is this main hallway. There are several bedrooms that are located on this floor, and the only way you're going to see on the inside of them is if you decide to be an overnight guest. The couches you see on this floor are original to the home. And now let's explore a little bit on the outside, starting with the courtyard. Located here is the chef's herb garden. And from the looks of it, there's not much herb here. Maybe in the spring or summer. Now, the gardens were nice, but I'm guessing since we visited during the winter, it wasn't nearly as pretty as it usually is. Like this pergola, for instance, which probably has some beautiful wisteria that grows on it during the spring. There are many areas on the property where you can choose a nice spot to just sit and relax. Lots of chairs and a very pretty gondola. They do have a small cemetery on property, which was kind of neat. Except for where the part which I'm assuming is the owners, decided to bury their pets in the same cemetery. This little area here, I'm sure, was set up for people who wanted to have an outdoor wedding at the plantation. Surrounding the main house are these little white cottages. In them are more rooms available for overnight stays. Judging from the exterior of the buildings and photographs online, they do look very quaint. But I can't attest to that because I never was able to see on the inside. In the back of the property is the garden house. Now this is where you'll come if you decide to eat breakfast on the property. And if you are an overnight guest, breakfast is free. And it's your typical American style breakfast. During my stay, I stayed in room 21, the Calhoun, located on the second floor. The room was very nice and very clean. It had a single queen bed with a canopy, some pieces of history on the wall, a little bit of art. This fireplace here is not really made out of marble. It's made out of wood with a faux finish on it to make it look like marble. You do have a TV for viewing, although you can't see it because it's behind me. And you have a very sizable and clean bathroom. If you decide to take a tour of Monmouth, ticket prices are $15 for adults and $10 for children 12 and under. If you decide to stay here and you have difficulty walking upstairs, you're definitely going to want to avoid the second floor. The steps are very, very steep. And they also warn you of this whenever you make your reservations. One minor critique of the house was that it needed some paint. There were areas in the main part of the house that had huge sheets of paint peeling from the ceiling. But it was minor in nature. Overall, the three components that mattered the most was the rooms were clean, the staff was friendly, and I had a very, very pleasant stay. If you want to stay at Monmouth, look for the link in the description below so you can go directly to their website.